Beautiful Namaste, yogis. Welcome to our practice today. It's a quiet one. It is Sunday morning in northern Nevada. I was sitting here doing my yoga practice and a whole herd of deer just came right by my window, and it inspired me to just enjoy the magic that can happen when you become still and quiet. All right, this will get into our major joints. So we'll start with the wrist. So let's come to all fours. And to get into the knuckles and the bones of the hand, spread the fingers nice and wide, each side, and roll the shoulders over your wrists so that you feel them. And draw the knees right underneath the hips, hip width apart. Look back, see your toes, lift the shins up, point your toes, and drop it back down so there's a nice long line from the knee all the way out through the toes. Getting into the wrist already, we'll flip the position of the right hand. So point the fingers back towards you, wrist away. That can be plenty spicy. If you'd like to add in more, do the second hand. Take a little circle in one direction. Breathing. Circle in the opposite. Circling those wrist joints in particular, but also the knees and the ankles are getting a nice spin. Also getting to the spine, of course. All right, come back to center, and this time, place the top of the hand on the mat, fingers pointing towards you, wrist away. You might choose to stay on one side. If you'd like to do both, and then make a fist with your hands and drop them down. Little fist with the hands, drop them down. Fists with the hands, drop them back down. Spin the hands back to the usual shape of tabletop pose. Spread the fingers again nice and wide. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart, let the tailbone lift. Nice cow pose here. Exhale, round as you lift the belly and you lift the heart. Drop the tailbone and release the crown of the head down. Shake your head out. Inhale, little cat and cow action. A few rounds like this. Getting into the spine a bit more. Getting some movement into the lungs and the ribs. All right, come back to center. Inhale, let your right arm reach up to the right. Find the twist here as you press down to the left hand and up through the right fingertips. Breathe in. Exhale, sweep the right hand and bring it underneath the left. Come down onto the right shoulder and onto the right ear. Press down through your left hand. You can use that to twist a little deeper. Press down through the right and left shin and feel how that squares the hips a little bit more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel the sit bones reaching back, the toes reaching back, the spine long. A little bit of navel to the spine can accentuate that juice right at the back of the pelvis. Breathe in there. And breathe out. Good. Let's come back to center. Sweep that right arm up. Exhale, float the right arm back down. Tuck the toes under. We'll get into the toes now. Draw the hips back down towards your heels. This might be plenty. A few of you may continue the journey by walking the hands back, bringing them onto the top of the thighs. Again, attention onto the wrist and the fingers. Turn the palms to face up. Let the hands feel receptive as the sit bones get heavier and heavier and heavier. Scoop the tailbone under. Humbly bow the front ribs. And then a little bit of a lift of the heart, shoulders back and down. Find the crown of the head, lift it up to the sky, soften the eyes, smooth with the breath. Great. All right. Come forward onto your hands. Untuck the toes. Give them a little tap, 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 tap so that the tops of the feet get a nice massage. From here, we'll bring the right foot forward, right leg forward. Come down into a low lunge. Tent your fingers. Lift up through the heart. And then on the exhale, you'll bring it back to half Hanumanasana. That right leg will straighten, come up into the heel, lift the toes, draw that right sit bone back so the left and right sit bone are in one line, hands on either side, up into the fingertips, roll the shoulders back and down, lengthen the heart forward. Stay here for the hamstring stretch, or continue the journey by bowing the heart forward. You'll come to that altar of that right hamstring. Drop your head. You might walk the hands forward again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Come back up. A little bit of a different exit now. You'll continue the journey and drop your hips back and come to sit on the inside of that left heel, keeping the right leg extended. Now, if this does not feel okay on your knee joint, bring that leg out and come and cross it in front of you. But if this feels okay, please stay here and allow the sit bones again to get heavy and the heart to lift. And the shoulders to balance back up and down. You can bring your fingertips to either side and sort of press and lift up to the sit bones and then drop them back down. Snuggle in there. Yes. Now, feel free to stay here, or if you'd like to take it a little deeper. Look back and see that you have a landing zone. We're going to make our way backwards a little bit. So I'm going to scooch up just a little bit here. And then from here, I'm going to walk my fingertips back, lift up through the heart. A little bit of a back bend here. And if this feels interesting, you might continue the journey and come on down into your elbows. If your left knee reaches up off the earth, come back to where the left knee is grounded. Stay here and breathe. All right, so the very first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, twice it is asked, what's going on here? Yes, we're in the middle of a battlefield. The blind king Duryodhana and the warrior Arjuna, they both ask it at separate times. What's going on here? The practices of yoga, that's one of the very first steps, is to stop, pause, breathe into where you feel it. Breathe into the present moment and allow the mind to quiet. And feel free to stay here. If you want to take it a little deeper, you'll come all the way, perhaps down onto your back. This might be plenty of stretch here. A few of you may choose to bend the right knee and draw it into your chest. You might reach up with your hands, interlacing the fingers. And you could reach underneath that right knee and pull it up so that left knee will come up a little bit, and then draw the left knee down towards the earth as the right knee comes into your heart. Soften the eyes and the jaw and the breath. One more inhale. Allow it to be nourishing. Exhale out everything as you soften through the eyes. To release, we'll come up just the way that we went down. So first step, straighten out that right leg. Keep the left knee bent. Come up onto your elbows. Continue the journey. Let the hands bring you back up to a seat. Roll forward. We'll come back into the shape of all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the wrists, a little bit of cat-cow here. Oh, just circulate all that. All right, back to tabletop we come. Inhale that left arm up. Nice twist right here. Press down through the right hand, reach up through the left fingertips, maybe even look up. Exhale, bring that left hand underneath the right, bend onto the elbow, come down onto your left shoulder. Yes, and you might stay right here and pause, feeling onto the left ear, long in the spine. Right? That right hip wants to draw back a little bit to come in alignment with the left. A little bit of navel to the spine. Turn the heart up towards the sky. And then gently, remembering that the hands are the motor organ of the heart, press into that right hand just a little bit deeper and twist. If you're squeezing the life force out of you, meaning squeezing so that you can't breathe, back off and come back to a solid, beautiful, nourishing, mindful, present day, present moment breath. Right? And I saw some magic outside my windows. The practices of yoga allow us to see that same magic within. Like, turn your awareness and attention, close your eyes, gaze inside, and marvel at what it feels like to be you. One more inhale. Smooth exhale. Good. The exit is to press down through that right arm. Lift the left arm back up to the sky. Exhale, left hand comes down. Left foot comes forward. Come sink in to your low lunge. Let stick out your tongue, lion's breath. And then draw it back, half Hanuman, left leg straight. Up onto the left heel, spread the left toes, draw the left sit bone back, the left femur bone down, the right shin bone down. You might even come up into your fingertips, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. And then as you're ready, keep all of that going on. Breathe into your bones. What's going on here? Ask yourself what's really going on here. And then as it feels interesting, you'll melt the heart to deepen the opportunity to explore within. The Sanskrit word swadhyaya, self-study. Bow your head. Breathe into the magnificence of what it feels like to be you. Right? St. Paul said, you have eyes but do not see, ears but do not hear. Like, these practices allow us to see ourselves more clearly, tight spots and all. I like to sway my hips a little side to side to get into the hamstring. A little tighter on my left side than my right. All right, lift the heart. Let's come back down to that half-seated Virasana. So hips coming to the inside of the right knee. Left leg is straight. Yeah. And this might be plenty. You might rock yourself up just a little bit so you have some landing pad. And either up into the fingertips, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart. This might feel lovely and awesome. You might continue the journey by walking the hands back. You might come down onto your elbows. Let it happen. Big exhale. Yes. Super nourishing for the knees and our hips and our ankles. Into the wrist, into the elbows. Nice in the spine. Now lift up the sit bone, scoop the tailbone. That'll get a little deeper in there. Nice lengthening of the spine. Come on down onto your back. Maybe. Let it happen. And then if you'd like to really get into it a little deeper, for real, you might draw that left knee in. Roll, yeah. And then bring the hands to that left knee. And as you draw it in a little deeper, that right knee lifts up a little bit, and draw the left knee in, and then let the right knee sink down towards the earth. It can be quite spicy. Soften the jaw, the tongue, the insides of the mouth, the eyes, the brows, the forehead, the breath, smooth. And just as the deer were here finding nourishment after a long, cold, snowy winter, some of the green is coming up in my yard. I found some nourishment this morning. Allow yourself to find some nourishment with your yoga practice here. One more breath in. Let a big, solid, full exhale happen. And then we'll move again to lift the heart on your next inhale. Come on up to wherever is your start point in this half-arasana. Pause, acclimatize. Come back to all fours. Cat-cow here. Good. And then let's come on down to a seat now. We'll fold the legs in front of us. Coming to a Sukhasana, nice seated pose. Pause long enough to feel yourself grounded down through the sit bones, down through the legs. Feel the magic into the feet. And then press into the earth just enough to feel how that lifts the heart. Nice and buoyant. Allow the shoulders to melt back and down to make room for the lifted heart. And then let's catch that heart energy by bringing your freshly minted hands with so much room for space. Yes. Bring them right home to the heart. Close your eyes. Drop your breath and attention awareness into your heart center. And notice what it feels like to have cultivated a little bit more awareness of the magic of you. Namaste.